Hi, this is Tom Your Florida Realtor. You know, there's something in the business that's called buying the listing. When a seller wants to sell their home, they're actually going to reach out to a realtor. That realtor is going to do a CMA, current market analysis, of what the market says that home is worth. They'll take in consideration the size, the location, the condition, any special features, and they'll crunch the numbers and they'll come back with a price. Now, the seller knows what time and effort they've put into the house to make it their home. And they'll set their evaluation based upon that action. They'll also set the price based upon what their neighbor's house sold or a friend of a friend's house sold, or they'll come up with a number based upon what they need or want to make out of their house. And I get it. You have a house that's worth 300,000 or 400,000, let's say 400,000, but I want 500,000, so I'm going to price it 5. Well, the market doesn't work that way, and you wouldn't buy your own house if you knew everybody else's house was worth 400,000, but this house is 500,000. You'd buy that one, of course. Well, no, you wouldn't. You would buy the house that is priced appropriately for the market that it's in. And that's an important thing to think about, because let's say you get 500,000, you go under contract, but then the buyer needs to finance the purchase and they do an appraisal. And the appraisal comes back based upon a non-passionate, dispatched appraisal that says, based on the numbers, the features, the size, the location of your home is worth 400,000. Wait a minute, the seller or the buyer put an offer for 500,000, but now it's only 400,000, then their financing falls apart, all right? 75% of homes purchased in America are financed. Now, different areas, different percentage. Bonita Springs is 35% of the people who buy a home pay cash. Cape Coral is closer to 25%. So you have these numbers of what the market says it's worth, what the appraiser said it's worth. So when you're interviewing an agent and everyone comes in and you look on Zillow, and I'm going to put a video together here pretty quickly about Zillow because they need to be, their actions need to be defined too. However, you put the price together, you come up with a number. The agents that you interview have you at 410, 415, 420, maybe 390. But then an agent walks in and says it's worth 500,000. Who are you going to go with? You're going to go with the agent that says it's 500,000. Why wouldn't you? All right. The other 4 or 5 and .com sites and Vows all say it's worth 4.25, but this agent says it's worth 500,000. How can that be? Think about it. How can that be? Everyone else is at $75,000 less, but this agent says it's worth 500,000. So of course you go with the agent. It's called purchasing the listing. Everyone would go with that number. They would turn around and say, wait, you're saying 4.25, he's saying 5. I'm going to go with 5. He's better, right? She's better. They know something you don't know. Then you go to market and nothing happens. The house sits, it doesn't get shown, all right? And even worse, you don't get any offers. But let's walk through this. No showings, no offers. If you get showings and no offers, it's price. If you get no offers and no showings, it could be marketing or price. But I can tell you that by today's electronic world, the home will be seen by thousands of people. So if you have a home and it's listed at 500,000 when everyone else says it's worth 4.25, your listing's been purchased by that agent, because the next thing that agent will tell you is this: we need to lower the price, need to lower the price, need to lower the price. Then before you know it, you're 30 to 60 days in, your listing's gone stale, and now you're chasing the market. Now you're down to 4.25. Well, wait a minute, if it's at 4.25 where it should have been, but you've been on the market for 60 or 90 days, why? The buyer's gonna say, geez, it's been there 90 days, must be something wrong with it. Now let's skip that one. Now you've got to re-energize that listing and you got to put it back out there. Now you're at 4.25, you're at 399. See the impact that having a bad starting price can have on your ultimate net. So when you price a home, take in consideration that the agent you're speaking to is an experienced, local, knowledgeable agent. Do not depend upon Zillow. They have a 20% error rate. If you tell me your home is worth 500,000 and Zillow says it's worth 500,000, but there's a 20% error rate, that means your house could be worth 400,000. All right. And if you do a test, you can do it in the comfort of your own home. Pull up 4 homes in your areas. Pull up the estimates. Pick anyone that you want. Zillow pricing will always be the highest. Always be the highest. That should tell you that their algorithm is set to overinflate the price of your home. When you do a pricing of your home, it's just not the square footage, it's the amount of rooms in the home. You may not know that. And more rooms, more functionality, more value. Also, Zillow doesn't know if you're over on Everest Parkway and you're looking at a home and it looks wonderful in the pictures and then on the videos, but across the street is a water processing plant. Do you not think that impacts the value of your home? Of course it does. Do you know that there's 21 different price points or different valuations given to a Gulf access property? Number 1, exposure. Is it eastern or western? People like watching sunsets. So if you have a back of your home is on a Gulf access canal with sunsets, that's very nice. People like that. They're willing to pay a little bit more for that. The travel time from your dock to what I call good water is also a major driver. If it takes you 5 minutes to get from your dock out to the river, that's a plus. If it takes you 45 minutes, that's not a plus. So one lot would be priced more, one lot would be priced less. Obviously, travel time has a lot to do with it. So when you do your pricing of your home that you're about to sell, take everything into consideration. Listen to your agent and do a deep dive. Does your backyard have a fenced-in yard? That's $1,200 worth of value. Okay, I went on a listing appointment the other day and the guy says, well, I painted my house. He thought his house was worth $50,000 more than his neighbor's home. And I asked him why. Tell me about your home. What do you know that I don't know that makes it worth $50,000 more? I just painted my home. How much did that cost you? Cost me $5,000. Okay. Where did you get the rest of the $45,000? Things to consider. You need to have a PSA, someone who experienced like myself, Tom Your Florida Realtor. I've been doing this for 13 years full time. There are 3 pricing strategies. 1, price it below market. Gets an awful lot of activity and maybe you'll get enough to take the price up and above your listing point. 2, overprice your home. Try to find that one buyer, because all that buyers, sellers always say to me, I only need one, but that one is going to be very hard to find. And that agent or that buyer is going to have an agent who's going to run the numbers as well. So you can underprice your home, get a lot of activity. Maybe that's the way to go. Overprice your home, but there's a lot of competition and a lot of inventory. Why would I buy your home at $500,000 when the house down the street is worth $400,000? Doesn't make any sense. Or price your home exactly where the market says it should be. A lot of times people come back and say, well, I'd like to price it just a little bit above so that way I can come down and actually get to my number. The buyer agent knows that, right? It is best to price your home where the market says it's at. So when I started this video, I wanted to talk about what's called purchasing the listing. If someone comes in you and you interview different agents and they all say your home's worth $4.25 or somewhere around there, and then they come back in and they say I'm going to list it for $500,000. I can get that number. Then they don't. You've been sold a bill of goods. All right. Hope this helps when it comes to pricing your home. 3 strategies: below market, at market price, and above market. 2, if somebody comes in and says your house is worth significantly higher than everybody else, it isn't. It's purchasing the listing. Then they're going to beat you up for price markdowns. 3rd, Zillow has a 20% error rate. So think about it. They tell you it's worth $500,000. It may only be worth $400,000. Then you're on the market for $5,000 and it sits and you wonder why. Because your beginning price point information is in error. When you're on the Zillow site, scroll to the very bottom and it says, frequently asked questions. How do they come up with that number? They come up with that number is in the details. And they clearly tell you that there is a 20% error rate. 20%. Are you willing to let $100,000 sit on your market or not come to the table? Of course not. So this has been Tom Your Florida Realtor. I hope you find this video helpful. I'll get it posted and I have more to come. I'm going to do another special video based upon Zillow and their actions and how they come up with that number. I understand Zillow's the 800-pound gorilla in the room. Everybody knows it. but they're telling you when they go to the details and you do a deep dive that they're wrong 20% of the time. That's an amazing amount of money, and it's an amazing statement by them that they know that they're wrong 20% of the time. So I hope you find this video helpful. Give me a call, Tom Your Florida Realtor, 239-313-9209, 239-313-9209, or just go to swfl-real-estate.com. Don't forget the dash or you'll end up somewhere in oblivion. So have a great day, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.